Chapter 9. The Three Questions.
In a quiet inland village, there lived a teacher named Joran. He was not known for sermons or ceremonies. He rarely spoke at all. Yet people traveled great distances to seek him, because it was said he could answer any question with a single sentence, a sentence that transformed the one who heard it. A young woman named Mira arrived one morning, weary from years of searching for purpose. She had studied philosophies, traveled through holy sites, and listened to countless spiritual guides. All left her with more answers than clarity, more concepts than direction. She felt full, yet empty, stuffed with teachings that never penetrated her life. When she reached Joran's simple hut, she expected profound ritual. Instead, he offered her a cup of tea and silence. After an hour, she grew restless. "I came for guidance," she said. Joran nodded.
Then I will ask you 3 questions. Answer honestly. The truth you need lies inside them. If you cannot answer, I cannot guide you.
Mira agreed. Joran looked at her with calm eyes.
First question, what do you actually want?
Mira answered instantly. "I want purpose. I want clarity. I want to understand my place in this world." Joran shook his head. "Those are ideas, not wants. They are outcomes, not truths. What do you want?" At the level of feeling. She hesitated. No one had asked her to define desire beyond concepts. She searched herself. "I want to feel that my life matters," she said softly. "I want to feel connected, not scattered. I want to feel whole." Joran smiled. "Now we are closer. Purpose is not something you chase. It is something you feel through alignment. You have been seeking purpose as knowledge, but purpose is emotional coherence."
He continued. Second question, what are you unwilling to sacrifice?
Mira was puzzled. What does sacrifice have to do with purpose? "Everything," Joran replied. "You cannot hold what you are unwilling to pay for. The cost of becoming someone new is always the death of who you were." Mira thought. "I am unwilling to sacrifice my independence," she said. "I do not want to lose myself in service to others. I do not want to be controlled." Joran nodded. "Then understand. Purpose will never require your obedience, only your participation. But to grow, you must sacrifice comfort, not freedom. If you fear losing yourself, it is because you do not yet know yourself. You cannot lose what you have not found."
Mira swallowed hard. His words struck something tender. He continued. Third question, what are you doing that keeps you from what you want?
No one had ever asked her this so directly. She felt exposed. She wanted to deny, deflect. But something in his steady gaze demanded honesty. "I avoid stillness," she whispered. "I distract myself constantly, reading, traveling, seeking more teachers. It feels productive, but I think I am actually running." Joran nodded. "We cannot find what we flee. You are overwhelmed not because life is loud, but because you refuse silence. Every answer you seek lives there." He poured her another cup of tea. "Your 3 answers reveal your map." He summarized. 1. You want to feel whole. 2. You fear losing yourself. 3. You hide from stillness. Then he said, "Your work is simple. Stop running from the silence that would introduce you to yourself." Mira felt tears rising. She had believed her endless quest for knowledge was progress. But she now saw it clearly. She had been circling herself, never daring to enter. Yorin continued, "People often chase enlightenment as escape. They search for purpose to avoid confronting their true emptiness. They want knowledge to feel valuable, rather than building a life that is valuable." He placed his hand over his heart. Purpose is not a destination. It is the feeling of alignment between who you are and how you live. Mira asked, "How do I find that alignment?" Yorin replied, "Stop asking what you should do. Instead ask, who must I become so that whatever I do carries meaning?" He explained that purpose is a property of identity, not activity. When a person is aligned, even small acts carry greatness. When a person is fragmented, even grand achievements feel hollow. "Most people are full of answers and starving for honesty," he said. "That is why the 3 questions matter. They strip away performance." He invited her to stay 3 days in a small hut nearby. No books, no conversation, no tasks. Only silence, tea, and reflection on the 3 questions. Mira felt afraid, but she agreed. The first day was suffocating. Silence felt hostile. Her mind raced. She replayed past regrets, future worries, imagined criticisms. Her thoughts screamed because they were no longer muffled by constant activity. By the second day, her thoughts slowed. She realized she had always equated motion with meaning. If she wasn't doing something, she felt worthless. Beneath that fear was a deeper one, the fear of finding nothing inside herself. Silence forced her to witness this wound. On the third day, a surprising stillness emerged. She felt a quiet presence within. Not a voice, not an insight, but a sense of groundedness. She realized purpose wasn't somewhere else. It was here, waiting for her to stop running. She returned to Yorin changed. "I understand," she said. "Purpose is not received. It is allowed." Yorin nodded. "Now you know. The answer was never missing. You were simply too full of noise to hear it." She asked if there was anything else he could teach her. He smiled. "Only this. Your life will continually ask you the 3 questions. Every time you evolve, your answers will change. That is growth. When you no longer know what you want, return to the first question. When you feel stuck, return to the second. When you feel blocked, return to the third. They are the compass, always." He handed her a small parchment. On it were written the 3 questions. What do you actually want? What are you unwilling to sacrifice? What are you doing that keeps you from what you want? She folded the parchment and held it close. It felt lighter than any scripture she had ever carried, yet far more powerful. When Mira left, she no longer felt desperate to find purpose. She focused on living honestly, letting her actions reflect who she was becoming. Purpose followed naturally, like a shadow. The 3 questions teach a quiet truth. You do not find your path. You remove what obscures it. And when the noise fades, your direction appears.
Chapter 10, The Master of Timing.
In a mountain town surrounded by cedar forests, people spoke of a mysterious figure known only as the Master of Timing. No one knew his age or origin. He appeared without warning, offered a lesson, and disappeared for years. He never stayed long because his teachings required no classroom, only presence. Legend said he could tell the precise moment to act, speak, wait, or walk away. Farmers sought him to know when to plant. Travelers asked when to depart. Lovers, when to confess. His guidance was rarely what they wanted, but always what they needed. One year, a young craftsman named Eli sought him. Eli was talented. His woodwork was admired throughout the region, but he lived in constant frustration. He felt he was always late, arriving after opportunities passed, finishing projects after commission expired, meeting people after the moment had faded. "I'm cursed," he told himself. "I'm always just a step behind." So when word spread that the master had returned, Eli climbed the mountain to find him. He discovered the master sitting beside a river, carving a flute from a branch. The old man did not look mystical. He looked ordinary, like someone you might overlook in a crowd. Eli bowed respectfully and explained his misery. "I work hard," he said. "I show up. And yet, life always moves just ahead of me. I miss everything."
The master studied him quietly. "You believe timing is a race," he said, "but timing is a relationship."
Eli frowned. "What does that mean?" The master placed the half-carved flute aside. "Sit. Listen." They sat in silence. The river flowed, steady and unconcerned, with Eli's urgency. Birds called. Wind moved through branches. Time felt spacious. After a while, the master pointed to the river. "If you jump in now," he said, "the current will sweep you downstream. If you wait, the flow will soften. The river does not change. You do." Eli sighed. "So I should wait for the right moment?" The master shook his head. "Waiting without awareness is just delay. Awareness without patience is just anxiety. Timing is neither waiting nor rushing. It is aligning." He continued, "You miss opportunities, not because they come too soon, but because you arrive before you have become the person who can receive them." Eli felt those words land. He thought of past chances he'd lost, relationships he wasn't emotionally ready for, commissions he lacked discipline to complete, offers he wanted but couldn't uphold. He began to see that the problem was not timing itself, but his readiness. The master stood and motioned for Eli to follow. They walked along the riverbank until they reached a meadow where wildflowers grew. The master pointed to two flowers growing side by side, one in full bloom, another still a tight bud.
"Same soil," said the master. "Same rain, same sun. Yet one blooms today, the other later. Is one wrong? Is one slow?"
Eli shook his head.
"They bloom when they're ready," the master said. "Nothing has gone wrong."
He plucked a flower that had bloomed too early. Its petals were thin, weak, easily crushed. This one rushed. It opened before its roots strengthened. It bloomed, but it could not endure. Then he pointed to the closed bud. "This one appears late, but it is not late. It is gathering strength. When it blooms, it will thrive." Eli understood. So there is no right time, only the aligned time. The master smiled. "Exactly. And the only thing you can control is who you are when the moment arrives." He then told Eli to carve a bowl from a piece of wood. "Take your time," he said. "Do not finish until it feels right." Eli began carving. For days he worked, smoothing edges, deepening curves, adjusting until the bowl felt complete. When he presented it, the master nodded. "It is ready." He led Eli to a nearby waterfall. A narrow ledge hung just above the pool. Water splashed intermittently over the ledge, not constant, not predictable. The master placed the bowl beneath the ledge. The bowl remained dry. "Watch," he said. Minutes passed. Nothing happened. Eli grew impatient. Suddenly, a burst of water flowed over the ledge, filling the bowl instantly. The master lifted the bowl and handed it to Eli. "You finished this bowl only when it was ready to receive. If you had rushed, water would have spilled through cracks. If you had delayed, the moment would have passed." Timing is not about controlling the moment. It is about preparing the vessel. Eli stared at the bowl. He felt the lesson in his bones.
Life is like this, the master said. Sometimes the waterfall is dry, sometimes overflowing. You cannot force the flow. You can only arrive ready.
He continued, "You think you're late because you witness others bloom before you. But their path is not yours. You are not late. You are ripening." Eli felt years of frustration dissolve into calm recognition.
The master asked, "Do you still believe you are cursed?" Eli shook his head. "I see now, I was not late, I was unready."
The master nodded. When the inner timeline matures, outer opportunities appear effortlessly. When you align, timing becomes natural. Eli asked, "How do I know when I'm ready?" The master replied, "When the desire stops feeling like grasping and starts feeling like recognition. When the opportunity no longer overwhelms you. When you can say yes without fear." He placed a hand on Eli's shoulder. "Listen, the universe is never against you. It is pacing you. It does not delay to punish, but to prepare." Eli spent months living with the master, learning to shape wood with patience, to listen to silence without discomfort, to see signs in small things. He learned that timing was not about external events, but internal readiness. When he returned to the village, he no longer felt behind. He moved with calm trust. Opportunities emerged naturally. Relationships unfolded without force. His work deepened, not rushed, not delayed, but aligned. Years later, he became a mentor himself and taught others what he learned. Timing is not luck. Timing is resonance. When you are aligned, life meets you. Most people try to accelerate life, rushing into relationships, careers, spiritual practices, without building the inner capacity to sustain them. They blame timing when they should be tending readiness. They demand fruit before planting roots. But a master once said, "You are not waiting on the moment. The moment is waiting on you."